Good morning. Welcome to today's weekly podcast. I was not able to do any daily update. I guess it was fatigue. And again, because trade was just moving as expected in our direction. So that I expect all of you to just follow the trend and flow in the line of the trend. Now, today's forecast is very important for us to know what else to do and how to apply ourselves. Now, if you observe that this is monthly candle on DXY, and what I've tried to do lately is to first look at the price action from the monthly down to the lower time frame for us to see this is the direction of the trade based on the price action that we are seeing on the monthly down to the lower time frame. Now, when you are looking at this price action, it doesn't mean that because it's now price action is towards the selling that it will just continue to move and move and move. No, the price is just going to be making, the to and fro movement and grow in that direction. So, but price growing in that direction does not mean that price cannot move against you 150 pips or thereabout, and you can actually blow up your account. But it is significant to note here that look at this month of September, it was all bullish. And the month of October, if you had studied the price action, was at the point where price, had lost momentum. And, the price and the shrunkiness that we can notice, on the DXY here, from here to here, was telling us a story that it's either the push forward or the momentum had died off. And we can see this. Now, the site of this is for nothing but to tell us that now the price is moving to the downside. And I would say I don't think this price is going to come all the way to break the top anymore. Maybe where the price may retest if there is enough reaction is at this point. So we need to focus on these areas. I will be using the price action as well as let me try and remove all the drawings so that if I do that, you may understand what I'm trying to say here. So looking at the DXY. So if we look at, this is what the price had done on the DXY. So that is the I for now on the DXY. That's the I for now on the DXY. And I'm going to use green for that. And where I expect, if there's going to be anything at all, is price not to break this. Let me use blue for that. If there is going to be a pullback, because we expect a pullback now. So if we're going to see a pullback, price should not break this or walk between here and here. Let me use that. Okay. Let's see. Between here, between here and here, price shouldn't break. The limit is here, but not beyond here for price to actually retrace before they continue selling. And if you want to actually measure that gap there in terms of number of pips, how many points is that? That's quite a lot. That's almost about 80 pips within that. So, and this, we need this information to know how to proceed. Yeah, this is Anybody can call it an evening star. An appearance of evening star, this and this form an evening star for a bearish move. So it's about also being formed now. Now, within just 1 month here, this is the 19th of November, price had almost retraced the length of here. But now, we want to see what price is going to do, because we probably should expect reaction. We are looking at the monthly price action to judge. We should expect reaction for correction about now. So of course, we could have a break. But I think about now, we should be seeing reaction. So we want to see how price will break this. It's an important area for price to break to the downside before we might have a fringe of break to the downside before we see the pullback that we are expecting. Now, we are using the monthly. Of course, the weekly is more going to give us more finesse and more accuracy, because this is just monthly. Now, let's go to the weekly and see. But we know now that we are coming down, and we have done an A, and we have done, sorry, a B, or it could be a 1 and a 2. We are going to see how this is going to go on the big, in the bigger time frame. Probably it's going to pull beyond ABC to the downside. We know what that means anyway. Let me just clone this also to mark the top here. Okay, so let's now look at the weekly, the DXY. Looking at the weekly on the DXY here. Now, what we have said is that we probably don't expect price to break this area. And looking at the weekly, actually price should not break this area. Price should not break that area, looking at the weekly. And let me use red. So the weekly has helped us to put things in more clearer perspective that price shouldn't break this area. And that's the weekly, what they call it, weekly resistance here. Now, this is the monthly support. And if we are looking at the weekly, if we want to further work this, we don't expect price to pull beyond here before we see a reaction to the upside. For a correction. Now, we don't expect that. So now, in terms of correction, I'm marking all this for you to look at the price action before we begin to look at wave inside there. So we are coming to break this. So it is obvious that in a week, this is quite engulfing, okay? We can see these and this pullback, this pullback, that was last week. And now we are moving again. Now, in case you are still thinking that the move is a correction to go to the upside again, I don't believe that anymore. If you look at this correction, this is quite corrective. You can see the movement, growing, and it's quite corrective. When you are seeing explosion and quite big moves like this, and engulfing candles tells you that this movement is not corrective. These candles are not corrective. These are corrective. These are corrective. This is engulfing. This is corrective. This movement is corrective here. So now, again, what I want to also say here on the lower time frame, how we differentiate correction from pullback. pullback could just grow as a single wave to the downside. But when you're talking of correction, usually it's not less than 3 waves. Like for instance, in this area, 1, 2, 3. On the lower time frame, when you see 1, 2, 3, that's a correction. So on the lower time frame, when you see movement like this down here, it's a pullback. So, and of course, what we wait for most of the time for us to get entry, good entry, is corrections. Corrections that will be deep enough for us to also look for other opportunities. Now, this is growing into a trend for us. It's going to a trend or a motive wave, but we'll see what it is. Now, when you are trying to find out what we are seeing here, if you look at this moment, because it's ABC, okay, this is A, B, C, or B, and this is C. C, most of the time, will just work itself. I can't show you the internal architecture or wave of this anymore, but I think wave 5 has ended with this. And now the new wave, trying to look at the new wave, this is like a wave 1, and this is like an A, because when you have from here, that's on the weekly to this point is wave 1. Now the seller still got here, that's a correction of A, and to this point is a correction of B, and the sell is the C, and the C is quite motive, like a 5 waves here. So that is the information we can gather here. Now, mark you, like I said, that we shouldn't go beyond this in terms of correction, that this might be where we're going to have a stop when we are correcting to the downside again, to the upside again, okay? And we are expecting that move any moment from now to probably touch this area. If it's not going to correct almost immediately, probably still push up a bit before that correction. Now, what correction are we expecting? If I'm going to use an orange to analyze the internal wave, we're going to use an orange to analyze, then we'll say that this is the limit of wave 2, and this is the high point of wave 1 here. We're still going to look into that on the daily time frame. So that's the high point of wave 1 and wave 2 here. So that's what we can see, because I want you to see the analysis on the higher time frame first. These had grown into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of a C. And the first push is here, okay, which is like wave 1. And the seller took it down to this point. And of course, they did a whole lot of mess here. Taking it to this point, also, they came up a bit, took it down here, and for us to have at least the first A. Or we could say, after this push, this is the first A, then you now have a B in the middle, A, B, and C of a B here, and then the C ended here. So, and the whole length of that, because price came here, the whole length of that is a 1 and a 2. Now, let's go to the daily to look at that again. Now, so coming to look at that again here, like I said, wave 5 has ended here. This is actually like a 5 waves of the first wave, which is a 1, and that this is a move of A, and that this is now, we are going into to have a B, and this is an A of a B, B of AB and a C of AB at this point. Sorry. What again? Okay, the C of AB is here. This is where 2 is. Because looking at the lower time or the higher time frame would help us. Because this is like a 1, okay, and A, that's an A, okay, and we have a B here, okay, we have a B here, and we have a C here. Then after a C, that's with 2, then we are now seeing the inside of going into wave 3 now. So we now had a break, probably a 3-1, a 3-2, and this should be a 3-3 growing, okay? So if you do a 3-3 in this time frame, you are going to have a 4, a 5, then have a big ABC correction. And we said that that ABC correction probably will have a stopover between here and not beyond here. That's what we are trying to say. So if you want to see the retracement here in terms of 1 and 2, because everything has changed now. This is not a 4 like we thought it was, and the way price action and price is going down. If we now take this from this blue to the pink, yeah, it's almost here. So with little whatever. So price is not coming down to this area. I don't see price breaking beyond this monthly resistance now. And this is the weekly resistance, monthly resistance. So price may have a stopover here. So we need to see what price is going to do. So height of 1 and a 2, and we're going to 3. So we go into 3 now. We need to see where the between 1 and 2, 161.8, or the kind of extension we've had towards the downside now. If we try to look at that from the origin here down to where 1 in the blue, which will now be the first resistance where we expect price not to break the downside, and down to 2 here. So we can see that price broke 100 extension to the downside, price broke 1, 2, 3 to the downside, and price now probably is has broken 161.8 to the downside. And this is where 161.8 actually is to the downside. So price breaking that, now we know that this is not a correction anymore. So at this point, it has signified to us that this is not a correction anymore. So what we are seeing on the daily now may now look like, okay, we have a 1 and a 2, and this is the 3rd wave, and this is the 4th wave here, and we are seeing the last wave of this particular first move. So this might just be a wave 5, and about finishing the inside of this wave 5 for us to have a bigger correction that should not break beyond here. And that is what we are seeing. And that's the beauty of trying to analyze on this kind of a time frame. If I may now take this to our instrument on the euro dollar. Let's look at euro dollar. Let's look at euro dollar. Where do I go now here? Euro dollar. So let's look at the monthly time frame. Is the same. Is the same. So you can see that in the euro dollar, it has even eroded this, which means that euro is quite strong. Quite strong. That's at variance with what price is trying to print. is quite strong here. Let me go to where it's going to bring some drawings that I wouldn't want to take out, but I think what I will just do is just to recreate. You can see the same thing, and that's the last cell. Now we are going bullish, and price is not coming to break this point again. So price is not coming to break this point again. They are done, and this is like an A, B, and going to C, or a 1, 2, and going to 3. And that is what it is now. I don't see price coming to break it down. This is an engulfing candle, and it's still growing on the monthly. And the same thing down to the weekly time frame. So we can see this is quite engulfing. So it's not a correction. I believe the way this thing is going to break the top, the way it's growing. So we should be looking for a correction. If you're not in this trade, should be looking for a correction at the end of whatever is growing here. But this is not area that you want to begin to pick your buy. It doesn't make any sense to pick a buy here. You must understand the wave count to be able to do that. And looking at the daily time frame, so daily time frame, so we are probably in the wave 5 here, and we want to see to count the internal structure of this wave 5 to end it. Let me go back to the monthly so that we can begin to pick the analysis just like I gave you on the DXY. So I'm going to bring, it's going to be messy, but I think we'll try to save it anyhow. Okay, let's see. So what we are saying now is that this area marks the end of the move to the, okay. Now this area, actually, it's where we had this correction. So to the downside now, we are not coming here anymore. For now, we are not coming here. I can take all these out. You're not coming here. So just now, the last move, we don't need this. So we can make it cleaner. We don't need this. Price didn't come here. And price didn't come here either. And price didn't touch this area either. So we're going to make it clean, okay? So this is where the price, made a U-turn. Price made a U-turn here, okay? Price made a U-turn there. And price made a U-turn. And we are saying that price in trying to do a pullback, these are areas we should be expecting that pullback between here. This may stop the price. Okay, so that may stop the price. And we said price also shouldn't go beyond this where the price closed. Okay, so we should be expecting a pullback between here and here. That was what we said on the upper time frame. This has done its work. We don't need this one anymore. Now, going to the weekly time frame, I'm going to see things more clearly. Now, going to the weekly time frame, weekly time frame, we have said that in times of correction, this is the low. This is the low, and that will be the low of wave 2, which is here at this point. That's the low of wave 2. Of course, we said this is an A and a B to this point, and a C, which is here, and the low of 2. And we now begin a wave 1, 3-1, and a 3-2, and we are moving up. So that is what we have said. But in terms of price, having this correction, so we said price should not correct beyond here. Let's use a red for that. On the monthly, so price should not go beyond that place on the monthly. So that is what we are expecting now. So if we go to the daily, we are trying to apply what we just did. The daily now has clearly shown to us we are expecting that pullback to come. Yeah, the pullback to come between, let me break it so that it's going to be blue, broken blue, between that point and here, which is the red. So that will be the last place that price should, we expect the pullback not to break at least 5756. So now we now know this is 1 and this is a 2. So the first reaction, a 1, an A, and a B, and a C. And that ends it, and price is growing. Now again, just like we said, from the low here of the origin to the 1, and the low of a 2, which is here, price broke 161.8 here. So, which means that this is, we have done a wave 3, and this is a wave 4, and we're into a wave 5 of this count. So, we are going to come so that is what I can see here now of this immediate count. That is what I can see here of this immediate count. That this has become a wave 4, and that we are seeing a wave 5 to the upside, based on what the way we analyze on the DXY. And so this should be a wave 5 that is going to terminate any moment from now. So that what we can see and what we can make out on the daily. So we have a 1, we have a 2, we have a 3, we have a 4, we have a 5. We are going to have a bigger ABC pullback with downside. Of course, these are broken the limit of the wave here. So if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, now going down to a 4-hour time frame, so we can mark that properly. We can mark that properly. So marking that properly, this is a 3 of that move here. Of course, we saw the move around this area, probably a 1 and a 2 and a 3 here, the 4 in this degree in the purple, and the 5. So the 5 mark exactly where 161.8 terminates. So we can see beautifully that this is a 3, and the low here which is here now. And all these are gone. Price is not coming back here. So we don't need to mess that area. If price is going to come that down, then we are coming to do a bigger correction. So price had broken something here, which is the daily resistance, to signify that this daily resistance has been broken and price is going to just go up and to correct. So we don't need all of these anymore, so that we can make our board. Okay, that's an area of a support, a daily support or 4-hour support, which also joins with what I showed you, that the initial area we can begin to have price pull back to the upside again. So price may walk between here. Don't need this also, so that we don't need that also. And this is also a daily support. Let's look at, this is where I said price, in case you are afraid, this is where you can still put your stop loss in case you want to buy again. Price is not coming here. Price between here and here, price is going to bounce back up. And that area, it's big. How many pips here? So that's about, of course, that's about 123. Price is not going to take all of that. So we'll just see the manner and the way price is going to correct to the downside before we begin to see more upside. But we need to finish up these now. Let's make this a purple. Let's make that a purple. Price is breaking to the upside. So this is wave 5. This is wave 5. And that's the wave 5. This is wave 4. And wave 4, wave 5. And price to finish that. So this might just be an A, B, C, and price is going up. Price made an ABC in that area, and price is going up. So we are going inside of a 1 hour to see what is happening here. Okay. In an attempt also to find, let's look at where 2 is. 2 is really here. 2 is really here. So let's take this out. So I think I can use black for this so that we understand. So here black and here also black. That will be the area. I have changed it to black now. So between here and here is where we expect price to bounce back to the upside. So in terms of where 4 is supposed to be, this is the 2 and this is the 3. And we're trying to also look at structure of what 4 is supposed to be here. Okay, so you can see how shallow this 4 is, and we don't actually need this also. So this is where we would have expected this 4 at least to get to, but it didn't get there in terms of 2 to 3. So the 4th wave was so shallow there. So shallow there, we are broken to the upside. So in terms of trying to navigate where this one can grow to the upside before we come to downside, these are daily resistance which price may not break before we see more downside. So it doesn't make any sense to begin to buy from this level. It doesn't make any sense. So even from this three to this point, I may use blue. So so this will be the first area that we may see price turning to the downside. Let me use blue. That may be the first area we may see price turning to the downside. We don't need this. And if you want to walk down to this point, to pick the height from here down to this point. So that is kind of working well with the daily resistance. So what I'm trying to say now is that you should not be looking for a further buy for now. We should be looking for a sell. So any price action between here and here, we are going to sell an ABC pullback. And if price should now break above here, then let's just continue to follow our buy. I don't see price breaking beyond here. Based on analysis, we expect price to sell in this region to the downside. That is what we are saying, okay? And we need to see that because wave count is very important and, it can mess us up. So price should not make it past, let's see, another 80 pips or 75 pips before we see the reaction to the downside. So you should be expecting that. And it's a space of about 50 pips. Yeah, 50 pips. From here, 50 pips, price should make it down. And that is what we can see. What I can see now. And if we are coming down from that place, of course, what do we expect? We should expect, because it's correcting actually a wave, an ABC of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we have the turn around this area, and this is the base for now, the price is not coming to, we should expect maybe a 61.8 at least. If price can do that, let's pick this point, the highest point here. We're just doing an analysis and trying to forecast that the price may actually get to this point and begin to go up or come down to this level. So you can see from the analysis that we did on the monthly, the last place that price should not break is actually at 76. So we don't see the correction going beyond 76. That is what we have mapped out on the monthly to the weekly at 76 here. But a good place that you should expect price to turn to the upside again will now be, let's now change that to a blue for us to turn to the upside again, will now be between a 50 here, a 50 there. So if it gets to a 50 there, so which means price will not even break here. This is the high point. This is the area price should at least come towards. And it's 61.8. So the manner of correction, you should be looking at this area as a high point or the potential point where price will turn back to the upside. That means it may break here, but price is not expected to break this point. when it's coming to the downside. So that is what we can see here now. So buy is not expected. I don't want to buy. I'm looking for my sell setup. That's what I'm saying. If we go to 1 hour to dig deep into the last wave here, I think this last wave is just going to continue to go like this to the upside. If you just continue to go like that to the upside, can we see anything here? Okay, maybe this is a 1, an A, B, C of a 2, and it's going to the third wave. The only thing you can do, this is a bigger trend support. The only thing you can do to probably guide your trend to know that you are about doing a wave 4 of this particular move. And once you break out of that, you know, what is that? Okay, so when price breaks out of here, it tells you that it's done with wave 3 and probably with 4. And you can see the way and manner we are taking this analysis. That's how to do it. That's how to do it. So we expect price to push back down. Once we have a break around this area, we're almost there. So we are almost there. So what we are saying is that price crossing this area is telling you that it's about, you know, finishing the move to the upside. So we expect a turn to the downside in this zone. If you this is the zone you want to pick yourself. Okay. Let's further dig into these on the 15 minutes time frame. On the 15 minutes time frame, if we are trying to dig into these, we said this looks like an ABC in this area. So an ABC in that area, and if it's an ABC in that area, this could have been our primary 2 here or somewhere. Don't mind what they do, but I think the structure is what you just have to follow, a bigger structure, because this might not even tick up to a 50 in terms of retracement. Maybe it's almost okay. So, and let's see if this one actually ticked 161.8 for us, at least 161.8, because it's the last move before we see movement to the downside. We're trying to tick on the purple. So let's see where that 161.8 is going to fall. Now, 161.8 is going to break the first blue. At least we should have a 161.8. Potentially 109,500 is an area you want to begin to look for your sell order, potentially. So it looks like price is going to break this blue, looking at the internal architecture of this. So this is a 3-1 and a 3-2, and this is still growing, okay? It's still growing. So trying to finalize this and trying to re-engineer this trend support here. So it's just going to push this a bit. If you don't mind that I'm taking time Okay, actually taking time so for us to re-engineer that. So it's going to break these. So you begin to expect your move between here and here now. So we have narrowed it down to a space of 35 pips, and we should see price falling. So I might not be able to do more than that on this time frame. For now, of course, we can see that this has grown into, you know, a 1 and A, B, C here, and price is going further up. So let's allow, this is going to go up anyway. It's going to go up, and we're going to get a price action very soon around this area to sell. And if we are selling, of course, we know what we are selling. We are going to sell at least, we're going to sell at least, let me pick 4-hour time frame again. Ooh. So we are going to sell okay. We are going to sell, yeah, to this point, at least to this point, let's say here. And we are looking at, let's pick 50 first. We are looking at something between a 217 pips fall, between 270, 217 pips fall. And that's huge. You don't want to miss that. And that is why, even though trend is towards the upside, and people can still lose money if you don't do this analysis. It's very important you know that. So we can have a deep 217 pips to I think one of the things I do to actually guide this trend so that I don't miss it out is to look at what I drew here on the because by the time the price will now cross this proper, you just know that it's the end of it really. When you do the analysis of, or when you drew your trend support, though we did it on 1 hour, so we can now try to look for all those divergence on the 4-hour time frame. So looking at this area and this area, let's match the low here. Is a low for me here, the first low for me, without actually trying to bend here. So that's how to do it. It's a bit difficult. Okay, so that's it. So we've gotten this, so we can now try to pull it backwards a bit to touch that edge on 4-hour. So we've gotten that. So you can now set your alarm on 5 minutes on this. So we've gotten this and this, and anything, a break, you can even sell from the break. So that is what it is now. You can sell from the break. Now that is done, let's go to gold and do the same thing. Gold, and I'm going to end here. It's been a long. So let's look at the monthly. Now, this is a monthly candle that we can see. We've had this as a correction, like I told us in one of the video that I did, that this is an A, B, C, or B, and a C, and we had a 1, probably another correction here, another a 1, a 2, a 3, and we had probably you know, these as a 2 to this, a 1 and a 2 to these. So we are correcting this now on the monthly. So it's bullish. You don't want to sell this on a long time. You want to buy, and we are going to break this top. That's what we are looking at now. So let's look at the weekly. Okay. Okay. So looking at this on the monthly, where we expect price not to break now on the monthly. It's because it's corrective, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. I think this is the point that the price should not break on the monthly. I'm going to mess it up again. So looking at that, I'm going to use black here. Let me use black. So price is not expected when it's correcting to break here. Okay. So, and the price may walk between that place and this point here, where we had a proper closure. So between here and here is where we think price should not break before we see further upside. So the low limit here is, or the lower limit here is at 1884, and from 1919 price will begin to push up. That is what we can get here. Okay, so I do not need this again. So we don't need this also. So I think that this is the point of the move to the upside. So let's look at the weekly time frame first, or next rather. So looking at the weekly time frame, the price had been pushing against this, what we see as wave 2 correction. Okay, what we see as wave 2 correction, or we could say, does price want to do, this is weekly, this is the move so far. So we have seen this move as an A and a B, possibly B and a C to the downside. So that is what we are seeing on the weekly now. And let's see those things that I ticked. This is a possible zigzag. And I will tell you that this price is about making it to the downside. You don't want to buy from here. You want to sell. Okay. So, and I think this point here is where I think is going to make a turn to the downside, not beyond here on the weekly time frame. So if I'm trying to guide you on gold now. So if we bring out those drawings to guide us, so we are saying that I do not expect price to pull beyond here for now. Price should not break this point to the upside if indeed we want to sell. Price should not break that point to the upside, and between that point and this point, which is at this point here, that point, that is where we expect a sell. Okay, so those black are the area that we have mapped out. Those are the areas we have mapped out between here and here, that we had a proper, price action. Price, I think it's about moving down again. So for a sell, and when we have that sell, we are aiming at this level and not beyond 1884 for us to have a 2. So it may come here. That's what we are saying. Now, let's look at the daily. So looking at the daily, we are seeing the seller pressure to now take the price down. It may mean that we are done with this as a B, and that this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside, a 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and a 5, and this move to the upside. So that is going to grow into a zigzag. That's what I'm seeing here. With that said, let's see where those lines are falling. Now, those lines are falling here. See that the price should not break this point of 1998, and that's why you can have your stop loss in case you want to sell from here. We said this area and this area, price may be turning down now. I can see price turning down, or it may just push up one more time, to finish this move. And you should be looking for your sell. That is what we are saying. You should be looking for your sell now. I don't see price coming to break this point on the daily. We have mapped out here on the weekly as a possible point, and this area, I don't see price breaking. If price should break above here, no. Forget that they are going to sell. So all you can do is just to take your risk, a small risk around this area, your stop loss probably around this area if you're afraid and you don't want to do a close stop, because the spread is almost like 3 pips. Probably if you calculate 3 pips above here, yeah. So when you pick your sell order. Now let's go inside. By the time you'll see these, it might be too late to, by the time you are seeing these to cross, by the time you are seeing this to cross, it's a bit difficult. By the time you are seeing this to cross and break here, it will be too late for you. And that's why, you need more than all this trend line. You must know how to use your trend line. That's what I'm trying to say. By the time price is coming down here, before you see it, it's already too late. So it's already too late before you see this. It's already too late. So let's go inside of a 4-hour, and these are daily resistance. These are daily resistance, which price just broke here. Even though it broke it, price is coming down, and these are another daily support here. So which we price is coming to break again. Price is still coming to break these 2 daily support and resistance again to the downside. So on the 4-hour time frame, what do we have? So on the 4-hour time frame, you may just want to correct this. You may just want to correct this like this. Like I said, it's going to be too late. Yeah, before you realize it's going to be too late. So we have an A of B, a B of B, and a C of B. This is where we are seeing a turn. A C of B, that's where we are seeing a turn. So we are seeing a turn in that area. So what we are saying now is that, so that you understand what we are saying, that we see this move as in, let's say A in the black, A in the black, then we are looking for, we are almost at C in the black, B in the black rather. And we are coming down to C in the black to make 2. C in the black to make 2. So this will be an A, and this will be a B, and we should have a C. So like we said, that coming down, it shouldn't break beyond here. So we should have a C around this area, and there were 2 around this area. Of course, this is primary 2 here, so it's not breaking it. So between here and here, price should bounce back to the upside. So let's go back into the 4-hour time frame to see how much recovery that price has made in terms of the A, which is this A. Of course, we have an A, B, C in that blue, but actually it's 5 waves. So let's take that off. So the recovery to the upside is price went up to touch a 78.6. So that's why we are seeing reaction. So I want to believe that is the last reaction. I want to believe that this thing is just going to correct. You are going to watch for the correction to sell. It might not even break this or break this point again. It might not come here again. So you might be having your last opportunity to probably pick a sell if price should go to the upside. So this doji, if it's going to form the doji, yeah, good for us to pick our sell order. That's what I'm trying to say now. At 76 or 78, that's where we are seeing the reaction to the downside. And I believe it's going to continue to go to the downside. That is what we see here. So this is like an A, B, and a C. We should see this as a 5-way structure to the upside. If it's indeed is a C, so we want to see if it's complete. And these would guide us. If this is the one that will guide us. Let's see how it's going to guide us. Gold may not be breaking to the upside like we are expecting euro dollar to break to the upside. So let's change that to blue. And I think we may have finished all the move there. So let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have here on the 1-hour time frame. On the 1-hour time frame, of course, we can see these as the first move to the upside of the last leg, as an of the last leg. Now this will now become the first to the downside, which is an A, and this will become a C. I think I removed the B. Okay. So a B. So a B. So that one, A, B, C. So this one becomes a 1, and this one becomes a 2. And we need to see, have we done a 161.8 to the upside from this low? Once this 1.8 taken here, so this point is good for our 3. So this point is good for our 3. This point is good for our 3. So this point is good for our 3. And we had an ABC of a 4. This is the 4th wave. And this is wave 5. I think it has ended this move. And we are coming down now. So if you're not in the sell, you should have been in the sell from here. So we are coming down. That's what. So it is not a 4th wave anymore. It's counting down now to break. It's broken the structure of 4 here. And we are seeing some reaction. So let's see what we can make out of here, and our price is going to push to the upside again for us to pick a buy. So you should wait for a correction to the upside to sell. I don't want to buy this now. In terms of 2 to 4 to the downside, from 3, this is what it's supposed to be. So price also had a shallow correction here. Of course, we can see that this is now being taken. So price is coming down. Price is not expected beyond this black here. Price even didn't touch this one before we see this reaction. This is a what they call it on a 1 hour time frame. This is a evening star, and price is coming to the downside. So let's look at what you can do here to pick yourself. What kind of wave is it going into? Let's look at 15 minutes time frame. Price may be coming up to the height of wave 3 again. Price may be doing that. So I see this one as a 1 and a 2, and the price is going to a 3. If this is a 1 and this is a 2, price is going to a 3. And of course, price may have formed a 3 here. That's what I think. We need to see this. The 161.8 to the downside tells you that this is not correcting for a move to the upside, immediate move to the upside again. A 161.8 has been taken at this point, so we may have finished the 4-5 to this point. Yeah, we may have finished this to the downside here, and anything that corrects beyond here, it's opportunity for us to be in a sell. So if we are talking of a 4th wave from here, from the low here, this is beyond a 4th wave. So we may already be seeing an ABC in this area, ABC to come up. So if we are going to see an ABC, if it's in an ABC that we are seeing, if it's an ABC that we are seeing, this might just be an A, and we're having a B, and the last leg of a C is where you must be. Once we break this again to the upside, is where you must be looking for yourself. So, and the leg that is going up, you must be able to count a 5-wave structure. But the leg that is going to go up from here, you must be counting a 5-wave structure, because this looks like an A, B to the upside now. This might just be an A, and this might just be a B for me, and the C may just around this area. I think you are good looking for your sell around this area, 1988, between that area and 1986. That's where to look for. But of course, we are going to follow the correction to the. So a 50, a 61.8, price may not come to this point now. I think between here and here, these are the areas you should be looking to sell. These are the areas you should be looking to sell. So let's allow this to come up. You don't want to sell from here, and you don't want to buy this to the upside. And that is what we are saying. I think with that, I may have come to the end of today's forecast. I think basically I've touched what I'm supposed to touch. Do you like this video? Press the subscribe button for more updates. Share this also to friends Let's stop losing and blowing our account. Let's understand how this thing forms, okay? And okay, for one more thing, as we are trying to come down now, because it's looking like a zigzag to the downside, where are we likely to touch if this is actually the point we are going to see this reaction and it's not going to grow beyond that? So if it's not going to grow beyond that, where are we likely going to have the second leg? So you should be looking at 100, at least to fall in between these two areas. Now, that is what you should be looking at. So right from the top here, in the green, back to the green here, which is at the base. So back to where we have the blue, which is at that point. So an 100 is just slightly below this point. So for me, if you are looking for your sell, you should be looking for, for your buy. This area is where you should be looking for your buy. It's not going to come to 161.8. It may touch 123. That is still possible. So if I were you, this is what I will be looking for: a turn up of price, in this region. A turn up of price in that region. That is what I'll be looking for. So I will be looking for a slight break, a breach here. I'll be looking for a breach in that region, a breach. So, and my stop loss is going to be below 1877. So I think we should be getting a reaction around that area. We should be getting a reaction around this area. And in case you want to clone and your channel, this is how to do it. Let's see if we can get a channel to work with if price does not break this again. If price does not break that again, if price does not, let's use a green, or yes, or a black. Okay, let's use a green. If price does not break that again, so that may also guide us to where the price may touch. This is going to be interesting. I think 100 is where you can, price may just break slightly. 100 is your best point. 123 may not just do it, may not just cut it. 100 is your best point around this area. It's an area you want to look for. Your 1918 is where you want to look for. 1918, 500, 600 is where you want to look for your buy to the upside. So we'll see how that turns out. We'll see how it turns out over the next couple of days. See how it turns out over the next couple of days for us to get to this point. So with that, I've come to the end of today's forecast. See you during the week.